I hope you're all doing well. So as you can probably tell from the naked face that's going on right now, today's video is going to be a makeup video. Basically I just wanted to sit and talk through my daily makeup bag at the moment. Things really haven't changed for a long time and they probably won't be changing kind of over spring, summer, so I thought that I would just show you everything that I've been using. So I've been wanting to do this video for a really long time, and today was probably the only day in probably about a span of like a month that I've really got the time to sit down and film it. I woke up this morning and I went and looked in the mirror and I just said, nope, that is not going to happen today. As you can probably tell, my skin isn't looking its best. Basically my skin is just incredibly susceptible to stress, as I know that a lot of people's is, because my skin is very blemish prone anyway, and so as soon as I get stressed it just erupts. Which is really sad. I've just had a really stressful couple of weeks. Basically, as I think I mentioned in my last video, I started working a full-time job at the same time as I started doing my third year exams, which has been a lot more stressful than I gave it credit for. I thought it would be absolutely fine, and it's kind of not. Third year exams are a lot more difficult than I thought that they would be, and there's a lot more pressure on than I probably anticipated that there would be, because obviously third year exams are quite heavily weighted and they're quite important, so kind of balancing a new job with that is really difficult. Also, the day before my first third year exam, I found out that my beloved little doggy really sadly passed away. She was only 4 years old. She got hit by a car, and it was just the shock of it as well as the sadness of it. But yeah, my skin has definitely been showing signs that I've been feeling really stressed recently. So I wasn't going to film this video just because my skin's so bad, but at the same time I kind of thought, you know what, everyone gets stressed, everyone gets bad skin at some point or another. It might even be a little bit more helpful if I show what I do to kind of correct and conceal when I'm a little bit more blemishy. So yeah, I'm gonna suck it up, I'm gonna film it, and if I get any negative comments about my skin, then that's absolutely fine, because like I say, it's been an incredibly stressful time. To prep my skin, I have already used the Khiel's Skin Rescuer as well as the Paw Paw Original Balm, just because I've got a lot of kind of blemishes on my chin. A lot of them aren't active anymore. In fact, I don't really think many of them are active anymore. But because they have dried up slightly, it's sort of a bit scabby. I've got quite bad scarring, and so I just wanted to use a really thin layer of this over the top of that, just to make makeup kind of sit a little bit smoother on top of it. I would 100% recommend this if you don't own it already. It's amazing for everything. It's amazing for lips, for skin, for hair. It's just one of those products that I use all the time. The only other thing that I'm going to use to prep my skin is the Khiel's Daily Reviving Concentrate. I use this pretty much every day. I first got sent this and the Khiel Skin Rescuer I think about a year ago now, and they're pretty much the only things that I've used since then. I use this almost as you would use a sort of more traditional primer, I suppose, and I just feel like it gives a really nice blank canvas for makeup to sit on top of. I would normally use foundation before I conceal, but today I'm going to be using a mineral powder foundation, so I'm going to conceal first. And the first thing that I'm going to do is apply a tiny bit of the Armani Corrector, I think it's called. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. And I pretty much just kind of put it in little dots, sort of on the inner corner of my eye, just where I suffer with kind of bluey, purpley dark circles. I do have horrendous dark circles. They're not actually too bad today because I managed to have a little bit of a lie-in this morning. But usually they're absolutely awful, worse than this. And it means when I do go in with a concealer, it doesn't kind of have to work too hard, and I can use a little bit less concealer as well. For concealer, I'm going to be using, again, an Armani product. This is the Retouch concealer. I've got this in the shade 3, which is the same shade as the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk foundation. And I really like this concealer. I really like it pretty much for everything. If I do have any kind of little scars or hyperpigmentation on the skin, then it works really well for that, and it also works really well around the eyes. Today I'm just going to use it around my eyes and my nose, just because my skin is quite blemished, so I want to use something different. So I'm just blending that in using the Real Techniques. Don't know, it's rubbed off. I think this is the contour brush. I think. I'm pretty sure that it comes in the sort of core collection or the core base collection or something like that. Yeah, but it's kind of like a standard sort of slightly domed brush. So for the parts of my skin that are slightly more blemished, I'm going to be using the Kevyn Aucoin Sensual Skin Enhancer, and I'm going to use that with the Louise Young LY24 brush, which is just a really kind of fine pointed brush. And I'm basically going to do like a pinpoint concealing technique, I suppose. So I'm going to dip that in and just take the tiniest little bit of product. This is so pigmented that you really don't want to use a lot. And I'm just going to kind of pop it on specific areas where I have sort of redness and scarring and blemishes. At the moment there's quite a few of those areas, as you can probably tell. If I was going to go for every little bit of like redness and scarring and stuff, I would probably cover my entire face in this. For foundation, I'm going to be using the Mercier Mineral Powder. This is in the shade Real Sand. I am incredibly pale at the moment. I went through a stage where I was completely like fake tanning once or twice a week, and I was kind of convinced that that was going to be it for my summer and that I was just going to fake tan all the time. I was going to look radiant and glowy and gorgeous, and then I just kind of lost it and couldn't be bothered anymore. That pretty much sums up my entire experience with fake tan. I really like how it looks, and I think that I look a lot more healthy and a lot more just attractive in general when I've got some tan on, but to be honest it just takes so long and I can't be bothered. So I'm just going to take this on the Real Techniques buffing brush, and I'm just going to kind of gently blend that into the skin. I'm really enjoying using mineral foundations at the moment. I've also got the Bare Minerals kind of original foundation, and I really like both of them. This one's probably preferable for me out of the two, but I know a lot of people who kind of swear by the Bare Minerals one. And I think it's doing my skin a lot of good. I know obviously this specific moment in time probably isn't the best time to kind of rave about a foundation that's kind of doing my skin good, because my skin is looking awful. But I do feel sort of in general that using mineral foundations has helped my skin a lot, and they just look a lot more kind of natural. So one of the best things about powder foundations that I find is that it's just really easy to pick how much coverage you want. So once I'm happy with the coverage that I've achieved, I'm then going to bronze my skin. I'm going to be using the Hourglass bronzer. This is in Luminous Bronze Light, and that's from the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Edit palette. I actually haven't used this as much as I thought that I would, which is kind of disappointing because it costs so much money. But I do really like the bronzer in it. I think that that's really pretty. And when I go away I use it, so it's handy for that. But when I'm at home I don't actually tend to use it as much as I first thought I would. For my eyebrows, of course, I'm going to be using my Anastasia Dipbrow Pomade. This is in the shade Medium Brown. I've been using this religiously for a really long time now. It's probably my favourite eyebrow product that I've ever used. I know that it gets kind of mixed reviews, but I think if you use just a light hand with it, and just use a really fine brush as well. This is the MAC 266 angle brush, which is just really thin and fine, and it just allows you to get right into the eyebrows and kind of concentrate on the areas that need filling in a little bit more. I am still meaning to film my DIY at home eyebrow tinting video. I know that that's something that I get asked about quite a lot, and it is still coming up. I tried to film it maybe 3 or 4 months ago now, and it just went really badly, and I'm not really sure how to film it and edit it and put it together in a way that looks kind of nice. I'm then going to do a tiny little bit of prep for my lips before I put a lip colour on. And I'm going to be using the Lord & Berry Lip Oil Potion. I know that Barry M have come out with something really similar to this, and I haven't tried it, so I can't compare the two, but this is just lovely. If, like me, you suffer with sort of really chapped, cracked, uneven lips. It tastes amazing as well, and it's just a kind of really rich, hydrating lip treatment that I tend to put on sort of about 5 minutes, I guess, before I put on my lip product, and I just find that it sits a lot nicer on the lips. For my eyes, what have I got for my eyes? For my eyes, I've packed, as I normally do, my MAC Groundwork eye paint. I absolutely love this stuff. It's my just day-to-day thing that I grab because it's just so easy to use. I'm going to apply this with a Zoeva 228 Luxe Crease Brush. And I do concentrate it sort of into the crease of the eye and just blend it out. I just find that it gives a really subtle definition. It never looks too much. And also, it's just perfect if you're one of those people who just likes to use one colour on the eyes, which I am, unless I'm going out sort of and it's a special occasion. I will very rarely sort of do like a smoky eye or layer different colours on top of each other. I tend to just like to go for one thing and just keep it simple, and just keep lazy as well. I'm then going to use the MAC Coffee Eye Pencil. Again, you will have seen me use this before. I love it, and I'm just going to tightline the upper and lower lashes. And that's pretty much all that I do for my eyes on a day-to-day basis. Apart from mascara, obviously, I went out and I bought another one of the Maybelline Lash Sensational waterproof mascaras. I tried, I think, 4 or 5 different waterproof mascaras in between when I first bought this and when I repurchased it, and none of them lived up to it at all. High end, high street, doesn't matter. I just absolutely love this stuff, and I don't think that I'm ever really going to go back to anything else until the day that they discontinue it, which will be a very, very sad day. So first I'm just going to curl my eyelashes using the Shu Mirror eyelash curlers. I desperately need another pair of these as well, although I think you can get sort of refill pads for them, but to be honest, I think that by the time you've bought the refill pads and paid for those, you might as well just pay for a new set anyway. So I'm then just going to apply a couple of coats of this Maybelline mascara, which is just the absolute bomb if you want super black, super voluminous eyelashes. It doesn't clump them together, it separates them really nicely, but because it's a waterproof formula, it holds a curl incredibly well as well, so my eyelashes just look the same when I get home from work in the evening than they first do when I leave in the morning. It's pretty much impossible, I think, to put mascara on camera and look remotely attractive, so I'm just going to get on with this. Last thing, obviously, that I'm going to finish with are lips. I'm going to be using the NARS Velvet Matte Lip Pencil in the shade Valkyrie. This is the only lip product in my entire makeup bag at the moment. I've been wearing it every day. I just think it's beautiful. It's a nude, obviously. I love nude lipsticks, but it's almost sort of a bit of a bricky reddish kind of nude, which isn't really like anything else I own. And I just think it's so pretty. So I just apply this over the whole lip. And I kind of do it a little bit messy to begin with, and then I just sort of blend it in a bit with my finger, just because I think it looks a lot more natural. And also, if you do have super dry, cracked lips, as I do, kind of matte lip products don't necessarily look the most flattering if they're in a sort of thick layer. So yeah, I just blend it and sheer it out a little bit, and I don't even know whether I can pull this colour off, but it's absolutely gorgeous. and it's pretty much all I've been wearing recently. Whether I can pull it off or not, I don't really care because it's just really pretty. That is pretty much everything that I've been using from my makeup bag at the moment. I am maybe thinking about doing like a makeup collection video. I know that's something that I've been asked to do before and I never have, but I've actually really slimmed down my makeup collection recently and I'm enjoying it so much more. Like for base products, for instance, I've literally got like a light sheer base, a medium coverage base and a full coverage base. I just have those three and I pick and choose depending on the day, and it just makes life so much easier than sort of having a ton of different products that all pretty much do the same thing. So I might maybe do just like a really streamlined makeup collection video if you would be interested in that. So let me know if you would be. Thank you so much for watching as always, and I will see you guys soon. Bye!